Hi, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm Jenny. I'm a life coach. And today I'm going to talk about why INFJs can't get anything done. Um, the short answer is that we're perfectionistic overthinkers with low batteries. Um, but I'm going to go into more detail and kind of give you some hacks for that. First of all, the common misconception that if you just work hard enough, you'll get what you want is a lie. That doesn't work. Don't listen to anyone who says that. Maybe they're a different personality type. Maybe that works for them. That does not work for us. So just throw that kind of thinking away. Some INFJs are funny because to outside observers, sometimes we can look really impulsive, like we just suddenly make a big huge change out of nowhere, but really we've been thinking about it for a very, very long time. We usually think about things for a very, very long time. We're kind of just processing it. Our subconscious is kind of turning it over, and then all of a sudden one day we are finally ready to act. So that's one thing that can happen, is we don't really have control over when that happens. We don't really have control over how long the processing takes. It's just kind of this feeling that the planets have aligned and it is time to act, and then we go do that. And it's okay to operate that way. But that might not work for all of your goals. And so it's okay to also have goals that you are more actively working towards. The other thing about INFJs is we are perfectionists, and so we can have a perfect plan. We can say, okay, I want to save this much money, and this is how I want to do that. And our plan can be perfect in every way, except that we're not capable of executing it. Because our energy wallet just isn't big enough. Like, we just can't follow our plan as perfectly as it's lined out. INFJs, it's like we have this wallet of energy that we can spend every day, but everything is expensive. Like, taking care of our body is expensive. Eating healthy is expensive. Going to work and interacting with people, that's expensive. And we don't have enough money in our wallet to pay for all the things that we want to in a day. And so you can have a perfect plan, but a lot of the times there's just not enough money in your energy wallet to spend on that plan, because there's all these other things that are eating up your energy in a day. So really, we can't really aim for straight A's in anything. Like, if you think of a straight A as doing something perfectly, doing your job perfectly or taking care of your body perfectly, if you're getting straight A's in any one thing, you're probably getting C's in other parts of your life, in your other priorities. So really the only way to do okay or well at all of your priorities and all of your goals is to aim for B's and to let go of perfectionism. If you want to get an A in something, you're going to get a C somewhere else. So really the best thing you can aim for is like straight B's. The other problem is you don't have any control over a goal. There might be a lot of people that disagree with that. None of the advice really takes that into account, but in my opinion, you have no control over your final goal, right? Like, I have no control over how many people watch this video. There's things I can do to help this video get seen by more people. I can have a good title, I can have a good description, I can have good tags. Those might help it get seen by more people, but I have no control over the exact number. Zero control over the exact number. And the idea of like setting a goal that you want to make a certain amount of money or you want to hit a certain weight, those aren't possible, in my opinion. They're just not. You can have a goal that you want to lose weight, but you have no control over what the exact number ends up being. And you can have a goal that you want to get more customers, but you have no control over what that exact number ends up being. And when you set exact numbers and then you don't reach them, then that brings in a lot of failure energy, a lot of disappointment energy. And that energy is going to keep you from reaching your goals. So, another strategy with goal setting is to don't set goals. You can set a destination, but don't focus on, you can set a direction, but don't focus on what any final destination is going to look like. Because you don't have any control over your goal, if you have this destination that you have no control over reaching, then you're going to spend a lot of your time feeling unhappy, feeling frustrated, feeling impatient, feeling unfulfilled if you are striving for something that you don't have control over. So set a direction and then pick a backup plan that you do have control over, right? So maybe I don't have any control over how much money that I make, but I do have control over applying to jobs that pay more money. So pick a backup plan that you do have control over, and just think about what's good enough, right? Like, you might never get to your ideal. So what would make you satisfied? Or what can you do to enjoy your life while you're waiting to achieve your goal? Like, you don't always want to be waiting for a time in the future to be happy. So how can you make the wait enjoyable and tolerable? If you don't know how long it's going to take you to get to your destination, what do you have control over? What can you do now to enjoy the wait? And then you're going to be less fixated on the future. You'll be able to enjoy the present more. Another thing that can cause problem with goals is our parts can be in conflict with each other. So I've talked about parts in other videos. It's like we have multiple personalities inside of us. We've got inner children and we've got shadows. And sometimes those parts are in conflict with each other. And sometimes that can cause us to sabotage ourselves. There you have a spiritual self and you have a physical self. And so maybe a nice car is a goal that your physical self has, but your spiritual self might have other plans, right? Your spiritual self might have other plans with greater purpose in mind for you. And so you can want the car, and it's okay to want the car, but it might be very difficult to get the car if you have parts that are in conflict with each other, or if your spiritual self has other plans. Another thing that can cause problems with goals is I think of like problems in our lives as like this pile of boulders. And like you're in a cave, like you're inside a cave and there's this like pile of boulders blocking the way out, and you want to move the big boulder, but you can't because there's other boulders that are keeping it pinned in place. And so sometimes you can't go towards the goal that you want to because there's other things in the way. And so you have to go work on those other things first. So maybe you're in really poor health, maybe you're sick all the time, and that's the boulder that you want to work on. But maybe your living environment is really toxic. Maybe you live with some really toxic people, and that boulder is blocking you from moving the other boulder. And so you have to go and pick apart the smaller boulders that are easier to move before the big one can get out of the way. And so sometimes you have to take a really indirect path to your ultimate goal. There's also different paths that you can take to get to the same place. Like if you just think about a map, right? And you're looking at the destination and this is where you want to go. There's the path that you think you need to take might not end up working for you. And so sometimes you might need to take a longer way to get there or to come at it from a different direction. There's lots of different ways to reach the same goal. Like if you want to get in shape, there's lots of ways to do that. So there, you might need to eat healthier, or you might need to do strength training, or you might need to do cardio, or you might need to do a combination of all those things. And so there can be different paths to the same destination. And so a lot of it really is just testing what works for you and then pivoting and trying new things until you figure out what does work for you. Half of manifesting is asking and the other half is listening, right? Sometimes the universe has its own plans. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that as far as goal setting and manifesting goes, you only have control over half of it. The universe is in control of the other half. So the only thing you need to do is everything you can. And after that, just trust. Just trust that the universe is doing the other half. So that's what I mean when I say half of manifesting is asking for what you want, deciding what you want, being clear on what you want, and half is listening. Maybe the universe has other plans. Maybe what you thought you want is different from what you actually want. Maybe there's something better for you that you hadn't envisioned. So half is getting really clear on what you want, and then the other half is being open and flexible. The direction is what matters more than the output, again. So if you want to pay off debt, you don't have control over when that's going to happen, how long it's going to take, maybe what income streams are going to ultimately allow you to do that. But you do have control over the direction. So maybe you can just start paying off a little bit each week. Or, maybe certain months have 4 weeks and some months have 5 weeks. And so the months with 5 weeks, you get an extra paycheck and you can use that to pay off your debt. So the direction you do have control over. And so just focus on habits more than goals. What habits are going to help you to get to those goals? Because the habits are something that you do have control over. Another thing is it's not even so much the action, but it's the energy behind it. For example, shoulds, doing something because you feel like you should is a different energy than doing something because you just genuinely want to. Maybe you feel like you should lose weight because of what society has deemed attractive, but actually you think you look good and you don't really care about losing weight. So that's an example of how the energy behind two different goals is different. Or you feel like you should have a partner and get married and have kids, but really you're not sure if any of that's important to you. So that's another example of how the energy matters. You can have the same goal. Two people can have the same goal. It can look exactly the same, but the energy behind it can be completely different. Like if one person wants to find a partner because they're lonely and unfulfilled and they want someone else to complete them, that's different from someone who is looking for a partner because they are happy and whole and they want to share their happiness with another person. So again, the goal can look the same. Both of these people want a partner, but the energy behind it is completely different. And the energy behind it controls whether you achieve it or not. The first step in wanting to do something is to stop feeling like you should. If you're doing things just because you feel like you should, you're not going to want to do them. It's going to be really hard to stay motivated. As soon as you stop feeling like you should, you're actually more likely to do it. So if you want to start painting again, if you feel like you should start painting again just because you used to paint and you're good at it and you haven't done it in a long time, that's different from just wanting to paint again. Okay. Feeling like you should go back to painting versus just genuinely wanting to paint again. And sometimes all you have to do is give yourself permission to not feel like you should. And then all of a sudden you're going to start wanting to do it. So anywhere you have room to just let go of the shoulds, try to do that as much as you can. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation is also really important. These are like internal goals versus external goals. I feel like I'm using weight too much, but an intrinsic reason for losing weight is just because you care about your body and you want to be healthy and you don't want to have to go through any medical problems. An extrinsic reason for wanting to lose weight is because you want other people to find you attractive. And so, again, same goal, different energy. And the goals that are going to keep you motivated are the intrinsic ones. And so if you have extrinsic goals, just try to start thinking about them in new ways that are more intrinsic. The other thing about INFJs is that we are not motivated by rewards. We are motivated by meaning. So something like having a well-paying job, that's more of a reward than a meaning. Meaning would be like, I want a well-paying job so I can donate to this cause that's really important. Okay, so you also want to kind of think about your goals and try to turn your reasons, try to find the meaning behind those goals, focus on the meaning behind those goals more than rewards, more than anything material. Try to think about the meaning behind those goals. INFJs are martyrs a lot of the time. We're all about helping other people. So that's another way you can hack your goals, is to think about, how is this going to help other people more than it helps me? Okay. So like maybe that would be like, I'm going to get a good paying job just so I can go teach other people how to do it, because I want all my friends to be able to make money and have a good, secure life. Okay. So think about how your goals can actually be helpful to other people. INFJs have strong extroverted feeling, which means we care more about other people than we do about ourselves. We're better at reading other people than reading ourselves. We're better at meeting other people's needs than getting our needs met. And so a way to hack that is to go back to that parts work again. Think of yourself as having multiple personalities, and how can you help those extra personalities? That's one way we can hack that extroverted feeling, that desire to meet other people's needs, and use it on ourselves. If we start to see ourselves as other people. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I would challenge you to try it. Yeah, so I just lost my place. Bear with me. Okay. Another thing that can help us get things done is procrastination and anger. I talked about this a little bit in another video, but sometimes we're not able to act until we're out of time. Sometimes we just need that pressure. Sometimes we need to be under pressure to get things done, because we actually are very calm and clear-headed under pressure more than the rest of the time. So sometimes that pressure ends up giving us this like sudden power and clarity, where the rest of the time we're just stressed out and overthinking. Anger too can be really motivating. So if you're just stuck in a really bad job, most of us learn to repress our anger. We were punished or shamed for being angry. But if you just let yourself get angry, like, hey, my boss is really a jerk and he treats me really bad, and they keep promising me raises that they never give me, and actually get angry. We're always making excuses for people and giving people the benefit of the doubt, and kind of letting people steamroll us. So get angry, and that will help you focus on your goals more too. Our nervous systems do not like change. Our nervous systems see all change as dangerous. And we really underestimate how much our nervous systems can sabotage our goals. So if you keep failing, if you keep sabotaging yourself, just realize that your nervous system, it might be too much change for your nervous system at once, and you need to go slower. You really need to think of it like building a muscle or like physical therapy. You have to go really slow. Like, you can't build big muscles overnight. It's impossible. You have to build big muscles slowly over time. If you're trying to change your habits, change your lifestyle, you're going to have to go really slow and slowly build those things up. Slowly build those things up over time, so your nervous system can adjust, and so your window of tolerance slowly gets wider. Your window of tolerance for those changes that you're trying to make. We also need to get comfortable with failure. Failure is like playing Battleship. It's just helping you to use process of elimination to figure out where you need to aim. So just think of failure as a tool. If you miss, then you know where you need to aim next to hit your target. The more times you miss, the more you can start honing in on the area you need to be targeting. So start thinking of failure as a tool. INFJs are also perfectionists. So like my videos, I mean, like the perfect way to do these videos would be to edit them, to have a better camera, to have better audio. I don't have time for all that. I don't have enough energy in my wallet for all of that, and still do everything else that I need to do. So my videos are just one raw take, and that's it. I make mistakes, I post them anyway. So letting go of perfectionism, you can just make the goals. Like, if my goal was to make perfect videos, nothing would ever come out. My goal is to make bad videos and put those out, okay? I mean, I don't think that they're terrible videos, but the content is what's important, right? The most important thing is the content, and everything else is going to take a back seat. So that's just like the hack that I use, is I'm just going to make bad videos because I don't have enough energy in my wallet to make perfect ones. Another thing that can help with goal setting is, instead of thinking of things you want to achieve and to get and to have, think about things to get rid of. Think about things to eliminate. Think of things that annoy you, and think of things that drain your energy. And you can start by getting rid of things. You can start by making more room in your energy wallet. So sometimes it's not really a to get list, it's a to get rid of list. Something that I use also is, when you overestimate what you can get done in a day, you spend the day feeling frustrated and behind. But when you underestimate what you can get done in a day, then you spend the day feeling accomplished. And when you feel accomplished, you actually get more done. So underestimate what you can get done in a day. The less you care about something, also, the more likely you are to get it, because the less you care about something, the more confident you are. And the more confident you are, the more successful you're going to be. Confidence breeds success. So the less you care about something, the more power you have, and the more likely you are to get it. Because that breeds confidence, which breeds success. So have your goals, have your intentions, and just be okay with not meeting them. Just get really comfortable with failure. The more comfortable you are with failure, the more likely you are to experience success. There's another paradox for you. There's lots of those in these videos. So if you're ready to set a goal, I'm going to take you step by step how to do that. First is commit. Plan to fail. Plan for it to take forever. You have no control over how long this goal is going to take you. You have no control over the timeline. That is up to the universe. So commit, plan to fail, plan for it to take forever. How are you going to enjoy your life while you're waiting? How are you going to enjoy your life while you wait? But no matter what, you're going to keep coming back. If you take breaks, you're going to keep coming back. You're going to, if that path doesn't work, you're going to look for another one. Okay. And you're going to be open to the universe sending you things that you didn't know that you needed, but you're still going to keep striving towards that intrinsic goal. Okay. Next, all your parts have to agree. If part of you wants it and part of you doesn't, you have to find the intersection where all of your parts can agree. Your core self, your higher self, your wise self, all of your parts have to agree. And then surrender. So first, get clear, commit, be in agreement, ask for what you want, and then surrender. Because you don't actually know what will make you happy. Humans are actually terrible at knowing what will make us happy. We think we know what will make us happy. We think we know exactly what we want our partner to be like, and exactly how much money we want to make, and exactly how we want to look. And there's studies that show when we get what we think we want, it never makes us happier, at least to a certain point. Some money makes us happier, but at a certain point, it just plateaus. So be open to the things that you didn't know that you needed. And the only thing you can do is everything you can. After that, just trust. Okay. There's a term called future tripping, where you believe if you worry, you believe you can control the future if you worry about it enough. It's called future tripping, and it doesn't work. Okay. So the only thing you can do is everything that you can. After that, just trust. If you're already doing everything you can, then trust that the universe has the other half. Okay. There's nothing else you can do. So don't future trip. Worrying about the future is not going to change the outcome. And again, you have zero control over the timeline. So just surrender. And then the last step is action. So develop habits to support your goal, pivot when you need to pivot. The thing about INFJs is we have to be in the sandbox feeling things out. We're not good, especially when it comes to ourselves, at predicting if we're going to like a job, okay, if we're going to like this new town. We're not good at predicting things like that. We have introverted intuition, which means we are really good at predicting certain things, but usually we're better at predicting things on behalf of other people. We're good at predicting relational things, predicting how other people feel, predicting what's happening in other people's lives, in other people's relationships. It's very humanistic and relational. When it comes to ourselves, We're not good at predicting things. We have to be in the sandbox, getting our hands dirty, feeling the energy. And so instead of overthinking about whether you're going to like this job or not, just take the job, see if you like it, quit if you hate it, okay, if that's an option for you. So action, just start implementing habits that are going to support your goals, get in the sandbox, feel the energy, then decide once you have your hands in the sandbox, what you want to do next. Okay, so just to review the steps again: commit, plan to feel, plan to fail, plan for it to take forever, commit that it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. You're going to keep coming back to this goal. Make sure that it's intrinsic. How can you enjoy your life while you wait? Because once you've done everything you have control over, how are you going to enjoy your life while you wait? Make sure all your parts are in agreement, and then surrender the rest. Get really clear on what you want, and then let go of it. Surrender, and then start making actions. Start taking actions. Feel it out as you go. Pivot as you need to. Change directions where you need to. And then just trust that it's all going to work out. If you're doing everything you can, that's all you can do. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to talk more about goals, I do life coaching sessions. You can contact me if you're interested in that. If there's other topics you want me to talk about, leave a comment or send me an email and let me know. Thanks, everybody. Bye.